How's it going, guys? My name is Ricky Senpai and welcome to a new anime video. Today's topic, or more so today's video, is a first impressions on a anime that is, in my opinion, going to be really the shonen, the best shonen of the season, and I think the title belongs to Hinomaru Zumou. And Hinomaru Zumou it's a shonen anime, but it's based on a Japanese martial arts, and you guys are probably familiar with it, sumo wrestling. When this anime came out, I was kind of skeptical because it was touching a gray area that I wasn't really familiar with, and because I wasn't familiar with that, I kind of judged the show based on what I knew about it. But tell you what, though, I was really surprised. I was really a bit taken back because there's something about new age shonen. It's, for some reason, they've kind of tried to tidy up, its kind of image and stuff, and kind of make it a little bit more PC friendly. Because a lot of people, when they do watch shonen nowadays, it's more so besides the clean language and everything, but it's kind of like it's made to appeal to the masses a bit more, so it's kind of doesn't have that kind of eerie, kind of darkish feeling. Like, for example, if you were when you were watching the first season of Naruto when it first came out, and the scene where Gaara, I think it's a few episodes in, when they get to the first exam, and Gaara, just he kills, he starts killing ninjas left, right, and center, and it wasn't, it didn't try to hide it, but it projected it and you really saw it. And it kind of, shonen was still on a touchy kind of edge to the west. That's more so Japanese, they talk about controversial things for good storyline, and that's why I love anime. But with this anime here, it's, even though it keeps itself PC, there are a few certain things in the first few episodes that you're kind of watching, you're like, man, it's a little bit of the reincarnation of the old feeling of shonen and a little bit of what PC culture is today. Before I get into the video, if there are things, if there are animes that you guys want us to talk about or review, or just have first impressions about it, please let us know in the comment section below. Because at the same time, as much as we would love to just keep pumping our content, we want to hear from you guys and what you guys want to watch, and we gladly produce the things that you guys want to watch. So let us know in the comments. First impressions, first episode, it grabs you, because there's this hilarious scene at the very start, when he's on the train and stuff, and he's kind of like he's marching on his way to a renowned sumo school, a high school that's renowned for its sumo, I would say sumo class, sumo club, kind of, if you get my drift. And he is on the train, and the fun thing is, because he's wearing school attire and stuff, but his bottom half, he's wearing a traditional sumo wear. I'm not too sure the name of what they wear, and he's just jogging around, walking around, and he's acting like it's casual wear. And a hilarious scene happens in the train, and it sets the tone. I won't try to spoil too much of the anime, and I'll let you guys go watch it. But just from the get-go, you see the funny side, the funny nature when you see things like this, and it gave me a really good first impression, because I started laughing my head off, because the way the character strikes you, he seems, and the main character's name is Hinomaru, the way he strikes you, he's kind of rugged, rough around the edges, and he isn't really afraid to kind of express himself. So from the first, in the first opening scene in the first episode, it kind of sets that tone straight away, and I kind of knew to my heart's content, I want to be laughing throughout this. So, and it kind of kicks off, and from the episode 1 ties beautifully into episode 2, because I've kind of find with a lot of animes, the first episode will be fire, and then the next episode it completely takes a left turn, and you're kind of wondering, well, how does this connect to the first episode, to give you, like, so you can understand the story and the plot more. But what this does from episode 1 to episode 2, and the way they tie, the different characters that you first meet from your introduction, it feels like they've done a really good job, because you immediately get to meet and get to see the main characters who are going to be built around Hinomaru, because Hinomaru, essentially, he is still in middle school when the first episode starts, and he's kind of just going around looking for the best sumo club in different high schools that he could find. And he ends up going to this high school that doesn't have a sumo club, or there is kind of one kind of, and there's only one student who's in the club, and he just stumbles upon him, and the story just starts climbing from there. And you can tell it's his goal is his goal is to become the Yokozuna of high school. And if you don't know, Yokozuna in sumo wrestling terms is kind of the pinnacle. It's kind of, you're kind of like the king. You're kind of like the king at the top when you call a Yokozuna. You're seen as a champion. And when you win that title, you get given a name of a sword, of like a historical sword or historical weapon, which is the sword. And Hinomaru's got a really cool name, because if you didn't know, it's not like any other shonen where he's absolutely useless. He is a sumo prodigy, but what plays into him is that he is really undersized for sumo wrestlers. So, but he kind of overcomes that, and he becomes a Yokozuna in elementary school, which is primary, and he earns that title even due to the fact that he is really small. But as we all know, people who are really small, they have small man syndrome, so they kind of tend to work harder to project their image, their size on people, impose their size, because they're small. They're essentially really small. And what he comes into high school where there is an even bigger scale when it comes to the talent of sumo wrestlers. And the way he interacts with himself, he doesn't see himself as a small character, but he projects it through his personality, the way he talks, and his confidence is just overwhelming. And I think that's why shonen always does a really job, because people can always tag themselves and relate themselves to the underdog. And I think he speaks to a lot of people who are undersized, and just to see him kind of grow from the first, because I think there's 4 episodes out right now, and I've only seen from 1 to 4, and to see the growth within those 4 episodes, I was a bit taken back, because I was like, man, they're telling the story really well. And for some reason, a lot of shonen, they take maybe 10 to 20 episodes to kind of build the character and for you to feel an attachment. But from the first get-go, it took me to maybe the end of the second episode to really know who this character is about. So my first impressions on this is it's good at the moment, so I'm not going to try to expect too much as the season progresses, or the episodes progress more so, because the manga is still ongoing. And the manga was written by Kawada, which is, I think, must be an affiliate of Studio Gonzo, and Studio Gonzo is responsible for the anime. And I hope that they keep the story and the plots consistent all the way through, because I absolutely love this, because if there is an episode, I think it's the 3rd episode, where he gets introduced to almost like an adversary when he was growing up, and it was someone that he couldn't beat, and for them to have their altercation real early in a shonen anime, I'm excited to kind of see this grow, because let me tell you what, it's only going to get more exciting. And there's a few characters, not only Hinomaru, but there are a few characters that kind of add to their club, because to be a club, to go to compete in the sumo wrestling nationals in the anime, you need I think you need 5 people, which is kind of like why he ends up going to a school that doesn't have a club, and he ends up making a name for himself, and he gets people to build around him. And just to see it like kind of happen so fast, even though usually in a lot of shonen it builds up, but see it happen so fast and works so well, and the story just jumps at you, I'm really impressed. So I'm really excited, for the next few episodes, and I honestly hope they don't, they kind of don't, they don't bail on it too early, because there are a lot of shonen animes that do come out and they end up with just 12 episodes or 24 episodes, and they split it. I hope it doesn't end up like that, because it's for people who don't know sumo wrestling, and for them to watch this and kind of get a feel for it and kind of see what the sport's about, I was taken back. I'm telling you that I'm taken back, because it's probably one of the only martial arts that a lot of people are not familiar with, sumo wrestling. And to see, because the guys that joined his group, Hinomaru's group, they come from different backgrounds. I'm trying not to spoil this, but they come from different backgrounds, and they've kind of been at the pinnacle of their sport. So it's kind of like, in a way, when it comes to combat sport, Hinomaru's team aren't a bunch of amateurs besides one that I can think of, but they were people who were really, they were champions in their own sport. Just a little spoiler there, they were champions of their own sport, and their own sport was karate and wrestling. So that's a little spoiler there, but I'm not gonna ruin it more. So to see them kind of gel well, and just to see where Hinomaru takes over, and he kind of projects sumo wrestling as this kind of powerful martial art, and it can't be beaten, and etc. you know, that just speaks volume to his character, because a lot of characters, if they don't grab you from the first or second episode, you're not going to be kind of, you know, you're not going to get attached to them and you want to watch more. And that's the most important things that shonens try to do, because they kind of play on the child within, you know. You can be, you know, you can be 15, between the ages of 15 and 40, and if it tugs you on your child strings just that well, you end up really liking shonen anime. And I feel this is what it does, because for me, when it comes to shonen, I like over dramatized reactions, I like over dramatized, you know, lines, you know, like over enthusiastic, you know, plot lines, you know, just everything kind of just thrown at you and for yourself to dissect, you know. So just let it be fun, let it be adventurous when it comes to the plot line. And what this anime does, it does its job well within the first 4 episodes. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I don't care, you know, I really don't care, you know, because, you know, for the elitists out there who's saying, oh, there's only been 4 episodes and this guy's kind of ranting on like it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm saying, look, for what it does within those 4 episodes to set a tone like that, and you know, and tell it while it introduces you to the world of sumo, I'm just a bit taken back, because in sumo wrestling, they talk about, you know, if they break your soul and they break your body, if they don't break your spirit, then you still have a chance. And the way this talks about enhancing your spirit when you're going into a fight, that if your spirit don't break, you're gonna win, like, those are the kind of things that grab me, you know. Like, I'm sorry if I don't like, you know, perplex and complex storylines. At the end of the day, I just like to watch something fun for once, you know, because there comes a time when too many people, even elitists, kind of complain that, man, look at all these wash me down anime shonen, blah blah blah, you know, let's go watch something that no one else has seen and only we approve of. But at the end of the day, anime is anime. When it comes to something fun, let shonen be shonen. And so from my first impression of this, it's really good, and hopefully that we get more episodes made. I'm hoping that they, you know, I'm hoping that they have a long season, but I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to jinx it or anything. But you know, Gonzo have been known to, you know, they have been known to, if you know what I mean. So hopefully this anime will take off, because I'm a really big fan of it. Thank you for joining us for this video. If you enjoy the content, please comment, like, and subscribe, because, you know, without you guys, you know, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing, you know. And if, like I said before at the start of the video, if there is anything you guys would like to watch, please request it. You know, we don't mind, you know, we don't mind making more videos. And like I said, the anime content is gonna be, it's gonna be a plethora throughout the next few months, you know, because there's so many good things I'm watching at the moment, and even video games as well, you know. So make sure you support us not only through our anime videos, but also the other lads who stream as well. They stream through our Twitch channel as well. I'll leave the link in the description. They also stream on YouTube as well, and you know, we got games like Fist of the North Star, which one of our guys are playing at the moment, and also over on Twitch, because we're trying to get affiliated. So if you can head over to Twitch, you know, I'll leave the links in the description, and give us a follow there. You know, that would really mean a lot to us, because we do have a goal at the end, you know, at the end of the year, you know, to reach honor, to get affiliated. So that would really mean a lot to us. But more so, you know, you just being here watching our videos and stuff, that means a lot to us. So thank you for the support, and this is Ricky Senpai, and sweet as.